More than a decade ago, when I started my coaching business, I decided to write a vision for my business. Why? Because many business consultants, quoted in all kinds of books and articles, said it's necessary. They said that a business owner must have a big dream and high ambitions about where he or she wants to see themselves and their business in the future. They argued a business owner must describe the best scenario where all of his or her desires come true in order to have something to inspire. I sat down in front of my computer, opened a Word document, and I stared at the screen. I stared for a long time. What can I write? What is my vision? Is it my life vision or a vision for my business? Moreover, what do you write in such a vision? As usual, when I feel stuck, I search for inspiration on Google. Since I'm a huge fan of other people's biographies, I decided to seek inspiration from other success stories. I read biographies and resumes of various peoples, until I came across a biography of a man who was about everything I wanted my vision to be. His field of work, the number of books he wrote, the lectures he gave. Even his philanthropical activity was the one I dreamed of engaging in when I grew up. To be effective, I simply did copy-paste to his resume, saved the document as my vision, and checked another task in the process of setting up my business is done. A few years later, I met at a friend's birthday party one of her friends that came to visit Israel from London. We spoke and I told her that I am a life coach, business coach, that I give lectures on discovering and realization of one's personal calling. Have I mentioned that I talk about my work every chance that I get? She was fascinated and she said that if I am interested in the personal development field, I must come to London and see Tony Robbins. I asked, Tony who? And she answered that he is well-known life coach and lecturer and hold amazing workshops. When I returned home, I again asked Google's help to figure out who Tony Robbins was. To my surprise, the first result that appeared was the same biography summary I copied and pasted as my vision for life. Tony Robbins was the realization of my business vision. I soon found out he is the #1 life coach in the world, that he has years long of waiting lists, and that he earns millions from his coaching business and from being partner in dozens of other companies. I found out he had written 2 bestsellers. I bought them and read them, after which I decided if he is my vision and he is #1 in the world, I should go and learn from him. Luckily, I did not go into the depth of his workshop before I left. Only in London did I discover that the workshop includes 11,000 people and that I need to dance, hug people which I don't know, give high five every 45 minutes and shout out mantras, among other things. Another thing I discovered in London was that on the first day of the workshop, I was going to walk on hot embers. Practice fire walking. Yes, you heard right. Become a fire walker. Walk on them? Yes. Barefoot? Yes. Everyone is going to do that? Well, almost everyone. Those who want to and those who dare to. Why? Because as Tony Robbins argues, once you go barefoot on hot embers, what seems like a far-fetched and impossible idea, you will find that almost anything is possible. What was my reaction? I had already cleared my schedule, traveled all the way to London, and paid all the expenses, so I surrendered. If I had to hug strangers, I'll hug them. If I need to shout, I will shout. And if I need to dance, well, I love dancing. During the last 3 hours of the workshop, Tony, who at this point I was willing not only to become a firewalker for him, but also to have his baby, explained how to walk barefoot over a bed of burning embers without getting burned. Tony explained that there are 3 rules that we must follow. We must not question them or stray from them. We should view them as life-saving rules. I will summarize those 3 hours to 3 sentences. Rule number 1, look straight ahead and a little bit up from where you want to go. Rule number 2, memorize a positive mantra as you go. Rule number 3, this is perhaps the most important of all 3 rules. You are strictly forbidden to run. The reason is that if you run, you may fall, and it's not recommended to fall with your face into a bed of burning embers. I'm really good at keeping rules, and if these are the 3 rules, I have no problem maintaining them and hoping they will help me to meet the challenge. I also saw that there were ambulances on standby. So I walked barefoot on fire, just like Tony told me, and it worked. I didn't get burned. Only black ashes on my feet, though I could clearly feel the heat from the embers. When I met other participants on the other side, I was a little bit happy to see several of them who were slightly burned. Why was I happy? Because this was the proof that it was real. Who will believe me that I just walked over a bed of burning embers and that the danger was real? I'm not telling you this so you would become a firewalker. And no, do not try this at home. I'm telling you this because I use Tony Robbins' 3 rules when I guide people and businesses on their path to become success stories. And I want you to use them on your path. Rule number 1, look straight ahead and a little bit up from where you want to go. Keep looking ahead to understand what the desired result is. What is the goal in which you invest your efforts? What is the success you wish to achieve? Keep looking straight ahead and a little bit up so that the goal is always a size or 2 greater than the goal you think you can achieve. Otherwise, your achievements will be successes or achieve a goal, not a success story. Rule number 2, memorize positive mantras. In order to become successful, you must be optimistic. It is okay to feel fear. Fear makes us careful, but you must remind yourself that you are worthy, that you will succeed, that you overcome difficulties and succeed in meeting challenges. Because you have it. You have the talent, the will, and the right plan of action. You are on your path to become a success story. Rule number 3, and here too, it is most important rule, do not run. To become a success story, you have to complete your path. The path is a process, and processes takes time. They require planning, learning, experiencing, and progressing one step at a time. Quite often, when you try to make shortcuts, you will fall and get burned. It doesn't matter what your field of choice is and where you wish to become a success story. Every business needs to be established. Every relationship needs a learning process. Every decision you make, you go through trial and error. So one has to walk the path at a fast pace, but safe. Be optimistic and keep an eye on the goal at the end of the path. There you will become a success story. I wish you great successes.